I mean, these first two blocks have been, which I'm just in a second block now, have really been obviously base training, long bike rides, long runs, tempo runs, sort of endurance sort of stuff. But underpinning that, I sort of, this time last year I did no strength training whatsoever. So I did the odd hill workout, but that was probably it for strength training. Did a few sit-ups, nothing great. So I really made a conscious effort, found a personal trainer who does one-to-one sessions. So we've been working together now since January. We've been doing twice a week. Now I'm doing 3 times a week and really working on a lot of weaknesses, trying to build my quads, trying to build my hamstrings, trying to build my glutes, all the stuff that I need for running and biking. But I've been doing that now for just coming up to a year, being the main part of the strength training, but I've also now incorporated lots of hill running. I'm doing that at least once a week now. On the bike as well, doing a lot more hill specific type training, 5 times 2 minutes, 5 times 3 minutes on the turbo, or when we're out doing a lot of hills when we go out. Started doing cross country for the first time, again just building that strength up. Obviously it's a lot of hill work, not level ground, you know, sort of really sort of focusing on that strength aspect of cross country runners. There's a lot of parts, but again I think what we're trying to do now is trying to build that platform to move into the sort of the third block, which is when we're going to start to try and get that power up and get that run speed down to where we feel it's necessary to be obviously world champion and European champions. This sort of like 2-3 months is all down to building that massive strong base. Yeah, it's been good. I'm really enjoying it. It's hard when you're trying to, like yesterday I had a tough leg session in the morning and then had to do a 2-hour bike with 5 times 2 minutes in it, and I could feel my legs more or less straight away, you know, sort of from the morning session. So that's the hard thing. But Natalie, the personal trainer, has been really good at trying to look at my training plan, knows what I've got on that day, not to try and work too hard. So that's why we've got the extra session in, so we can spread that over three sessions rather than having to try and focus doing it on 2 sessions. Consistency of doing it week in, week out, I really think is paying off. I feel like my shoulders are back when I'm running. I don't feel like I'm crouched over as much, especially towards end of runs, end of long runs. I feel like my posture's a lot better. Just generally, I do feel a hell of a lot stronger on the bike. That's down to being out on the road as well, I think. It's obviously the work that we're doing, it's obviously having an effect as well on the bike and the run. And I think when we get into trying to get the times down, hopefully then this strength will pay dividends.
It's really good fun working with Lee. Basically what we've done up to this kind of winter section this year, we've built up a foundation of strength, really. So we've worked on several different areas to really get a decent kind of foundation layer. We've worked on ironing out a couple of Lee's slightly weaker areas as well. So we've been talking about in his races, he's noticing hip flexors are pinching a little bit, calves are really quite tight and painful after the races, hamstrings were really tight, super tight, and then a little bit more room in his ankles. And then also upper body, we've been working on kind of developing his upper body strength overall really, especially when he's kind of in the seated position on a bike, also being able to hold his posture when he's running. So we've spent kind of this year really tightening all those areas up. Coming into this block we've been doing the last month or 2, we've really been driving his strength basically. So really driving things like his back squat, so improving strength on his back squat, and things like lunges, split squats, so that we're working kind of front of the leg, back of the leg, combinations like that, but also balance and coordination, that kind of thing. Really focusing on heavy lifts to build that strength. The thing about Lee is obviously he's wanting to make sure that we build muscle. He wants to be building kind of power on his legs, but not to get too big because his weight needs to stay relatively low. We're just kind of like focusing on kind of strength ranges, that kind of thing, in his workouts to date. Lee is one of those people where he kind of He's very, very eager to learn everything that we do in the gym with Lee. Talk about the theory. He really wants to understand what the intention behind an exercise, why we're doing it in a certain position, why we're adjusting certain things. We go a lot of way through the theory. What's brilliant is the fact that he really, really enjoys the strength stuff. I think coming into the gym and doing the strength side of things, he's actually really, really taken it, and he's really absolutely enjoying it. And we have a really good laugh. He's a really down to earth bloke. We just have a bit of a laugh and a giggle with it. So yeah, he's really good fun.